Thank you for tuning into the D6 pack. Today I'm going to be talking about this game, which is a worker movement game based on the fishing village of Yokohama, hence the name. This is one of the current hotness, so if you listen to many other board gaming podcasts or video shows, you might have heard something about this already. So I'm not going to be talking about the gameplay itself. I had intended for this video to be me putting the new Meeple Realty insert together for this game. However, I found out that that's a lot harder than it sounds. So I might put some of those clips of me struggling to put that together in here still, but I'm going to use this video instead to give you some of my thoughts on the insert itself. So I'm going to take a break and readjust my camera so that I can show you a little bit about what the insert looks like. Alright, so this is the box for the game with the insert inside. The rule book and these location tiles, as well as the scoreboard, just kind of go on top. And then you've got these two boats, which are resource holders. There's enough spaces for each resource to be divided into each boat. However, the 1s and the 3s go in the same slot together, which I'm not super crazy about, but beneath those we have the player holders, I guess. So the game itself just comes with these cardboard trays which hold all your resources on them, and the wood organizes everything pretty nicely. I use this slot as the player hand for the game. Put all the starting resources for each player in those slots. The game plays 4, so there's 4 of those tucked in there. Then there is this little box which holds some of the game setup pieces. We've got a first player marker, and this is it works for one of the technology cards. I don't know which one off the top of my head, but that goes in there. These are the 5 power action bonuses for each location tile. And then I think they call them secret agents or foreign agents, something like that. So that goes in that box. And then we have the box for the location tiles here. Looks like there's a little bit of space in there in case they expand the game. It might fit in the box with it. And then there is the card holder, which I'm having a little trouble getting out of here. Here we go. So that's the card holder. It separates each of the 4 types of cards. So that all works pretty nicely. Some of my thoughts on this insert are this box, for one thing, is difficult to open and close. They didn't put any like hinges or anything on it, so you really just kind of have to friction fit it together every time you want to close it. And then they've got this panel which slides up and down for some reason. I guess you can just dump them out on the board. I don't know. And then the other complaint that I would have is about these boats. So if you have somewhat large fingers like me, it's difficult to get multiple of the same resource out at a time. You kind of got to just pick them out one at a time if you're having that issue, I guess. But that's a small gripe. I also don't really like that they don't have another spot for the 3s and the 1s. But something I really like about this insert are the player aids. I think it's a little weird that they do a separate box just for the top part. I kind of wish they had left that open. But the way that this organizes everything for the player is very clean and nice, and I think that works very well. So that is the insert. And let me readjust my camera again, and I'll just give you some final thoughts. My thoughts as we went through it, but I just wanted to kind of wrap up and give you my overall impression of the insert. This is my first Meeple Realty product that I've put together myself. As I've already mentioned, it was difficult to put together. However, the bright side of that is that I don't have any fear that this is going to fall apart. I bought broken token inserts in the past, and they are slowly starting to wiggle apart, and some glue may be necessary in those cases. So I don't feel like that's something that I would need for these. However, the friction fit also makes it difficult to get some of those parts together, which is why I didn't want to torture you with watching me put that together. Overall, though, I think the insert is pretty good. My general rule for buying inserts is that unless there's been enough expansions that it won't fit in the base box anymore, or the game has so many components that setup almost takes as long as playing the game, I don't feel like there needs to be an insert. In this case, I think that there are enough components that it warrants its own expansion organizer, and the one that came with this game was really just a cardboard with 2 holes in it. So I think this organizes things much better than that, and I think that if you have the deluxe edition of Yokohama like I do, it's worth looking at. I believe this is the only one that I've seen so far, so there may be other inserts that come out in the future that you might want to check out, but if you're looking for something pretty quick, give this one a look. So that's the video. If you enjoyed this, please check out us on social media. Send us any comments, questions to our email, or you can always listen to us on our audio podcast, which is about to go bi-monthly. So check it out. Thanks.